You are listening to the Nottingham Recovery Network podcast, where we tell true stories of people who've walked the path of recovery and hear from those that supported them every step of the way. Real people, real recovery, real hope.
How to survive Pride and actually enjoy it? I'm just thinking, can we do this? Yeah, we can. Come on. This is a guide to sober Pride and looking after yourself during Pride season. Hello and welcome. I'm Jake. As Pride season gets underway, the rainbow flags are out. Pride events are popping up across social media and the country, and invitations are arriving for marches, parties, festivals, celebrations. And I don't know about you, but I'm starting to hear it's raining men a lot more. That might just be, no, that is totally me. While Pride can be a wonderful experience, today I want to talk about something that perhaps doesn't get discussed enough. Okay, let's get serious. What if Pride doesn't feel easy? What if you're trying to stay sober? What if crowds just really aren't your thing? And what if you're feeling lonely? What if you've recently come out and you're struggling with your mental health, or you're looking at everybody else's Pride photos on social media and wondering why you don't seem to be having the same experience? Because the truth is that Pride can bring up a lot of emotions. You know what? For some people it's joyful, for others it's complicated, and for many of us, it's both. So today I want to talk about how to survive Pride, how to enjoy Pride on your own terms, and how to navigate Pride season, whether you're sober, in recovery, introverted, extroverted, anxious, overwhelmed, or simply just trying to figure out where you fit in. I'm Jake Hook. I'm the founder of PrideSpace counselling services and the Pride Shop, Nottingham's first and only LGBTQ+ cafe, shop and community hub. I'm a registered qualified counsellor, and I've been sober for over 10 years and I've been to a lot of Prides in my time. So, in the next 20 minutes or so, I invite you to get curious with me, and together, you know what? We're going to work out how you can have the Pride you deserve. Okay, let's think what Pride can bring up for us. I think one of the biggest myths about Pride is that we're supposed to be universally happy, that somehow, all the rainbows we're surrounded by and the messages of acceptance, that we're all supposed to feel like, celebratory. But emotions, just don't work like that. In fact, Pride can sometimes shine a spotlight on things we'd rather not think about. Maybe you've recently experienced a breakup. Perhaps your family still don't accept who you are. Maybe you've lost friends or loved ones. Perhaps you feel the body that you're in, however it looks, doesn't fit in. Or maybe you've spent years feeling disconnected from the community and you find yourself now wondering, where do I belong? Sometimes Pride can be one massive trigger. We can see friendship groups, couples, chosen families, confident people dancing in the street, people reveling in their sexuality. And you might be asking yourself, why does everyone seem to have this Pride thing figured out except me? The truth is that many people around you are having exactly the same thoughts. Social media rarely shows the person who felt awkward standing alone despite being in the middle of a massive parade. You know what? It rarely shows the person who went home early because they felt overwhelmed. And when does it ever show the person who spent the day feeling so anxious because they were surrounded by thousands of people? One of the strange things about being human is that loneliness isn't always about being alone. Sometimes loneliness is feeling disconnected, even though you're surrounded by thousands of people. And Pride can bring that into sharp focus. So let's do a little bit of a history thing here, right? The queer history of social spaces. If we're going to talk about sober Pride, I think it's important to acknowledge something. Alcohol and other substances didn't become part of the LGBTQ+ culture by accident. Historically, bars, clubs, and saunas were often some of the only places that LGBTQ+ people could gather safely. In many places, they weren't just venues, they were community centers, meeting places, safe havens, spaces where people could finally be themselves. For generations, LGBT connection often happened in spaces where alcohol and other substances were present. And sometimes these places, especially saunas and cruise bars, were really sexualized. And that history matters. but it can also create challenges. Many people reach a point when they begin asking, can I still feel connected if I'm not drinking? Can I still enjoy Pride if I'm not partying? Can I still belong if I'm not doing exactly what everyone else seems to be doing? And these are important questions. I think the answer is yes, you can still belong. But sometimes it requires us to separate two things that often get tangled together. Those are connection and intoxication, because they're not the same thing. Many people discover that what they were actually seeking wasn't alcohol or drugs. It was acceptance, belonging, confidence, freedom, human connection. Okay, so we're going to go to Pride and we're going to be sober. What are the challenges? If you're in recovery, it can be particularly challenging. I know this from my own experience. Even last year, being 10 years sober, I went to the cross-section between the Law Roberts and Broadwalk, there, in the evening after work. It was crowded, noisy, overwhelming. I was surrounded by things that I deliberately worked hard to move away from. There was drinking everywhere. There's no judgment in that, well, but it was there. There were lots of younger, thinner, and yes, sexier people than me. Memories of old social circles or previous lifestyles floated through my mind. And there was a voice in my head. Oh my God, it was so loud. Everyone else is having fun except you, Jake. And that voice, it was so convincing. And if this sounds like something you've experienced or fear you might experience during a sober Pride, it's worth asking yourself a question. What exactly am I afraid of missing out on? Sometimes, the answer can be alcohol. It could be drugs. But more often than we realize, the answer is connection. So we don't usually fear missing the substance. Okay, so let's break it down. I do not miss wine. Okay, well, maybe just a little bit. But it's like the first sip that I actually miss. The rest of it, no, I don't miss it. The argumentative, reactive me, the blur, the drunken, uncoordinated dancing to Britney. Oh my God. The slurring, the money. Oh, so much money. The sickness, the late night snacking, and the arguing with poor cab drivers about the cost of the ride. Oh God, when I think back. And then, you know what? There's the hangover and the come down from all of that. I do not miss that at all. But there's something I do miss. Since not drinking, I think that it's the feeling of belonging or connection. So there I was at that cross-section last year, and I felt incredibly alone and isolated. Whilst everyone was in high spirits and dancing and laughing, I felt like I wanted to curl up with my dog at home and forget the whole thing. And then, just when I was about to chuck it all in, two dear friends found me in the middle of the crowd, and I hadn't seen them in a little while. And within a few minutes, I was howling with laughter. Suddenly, it felt like I was part of that joy that was in the air. My laughter intermingled with everybody else's. It was like the grayscale that I was feeling just a few minutes earlier had turned to full color. I fear missing the belonging, not the drink. And that's an important distinction, because if belonging is what we're seeking, if it's what you're seeking, there are way healthier ways to find it. You can go to Pride with supportive friends, attend a recovery group, plan a sober meetup, check out community events, try volunteering, have a quiet coffee with friends, have a connected, meaningful conversation with someone you care about. Things that often leave us feeling genuinely nourished afterwards, that's what we want to go for, not those things that leave us depleted. You remember, like the come down, the hangover? So I encourage you to go check out the LGBT Network calendar page. You'll find a whole list of meetups and groups to join, from running to crafting, sober therapy to book clubs. Like, it's all there. I tell you, Nottingham has it going on when it comes to things you can get involved with. So let's think about practical ways to look after yourself during Pride. First, remember, you don't have to attend everything. Pride isn't a competition. You don't get massive queer points for staying out the longest. You don't get a gay medal for attending every event. Choose things that are genuinely appealing to you. Go on, be choosy. It's your day. Secondly, have a plan. Know where you're going to go. Know who you're meeting. Know how you're going to get home. And perhaps, most importantly, know what you'll do if things become overwhelming. And let me tell you, my friend, an exit strategy isn't failure. It is self-care. Thirdly, check in with your body. Check in with yourself. Have you eaten? Have you drunk water? Are you rested? It sounds so simple, but when we're excited, anxious, or distracted, basic needs just get quickly overlooked. Fourthly, this is quite important, particularly to me, pay attention to the comparison demon. Comparison can quietly rob us of joy. If you spend Pride looking at everybody else's experience, you'll miss your own. And fifth, this is the add mini bit. Make sure your phone is fully charged. Oh my God, does anyone know stress 3% phone charge? Get one of those portable battery chargers, bring your own charger, find somewhere, that in some bars they even have those battery charger things. It's worth it. Don't get stressed about not having enough battery on your phone. And sun cream, doesn't matter what your race, what your skin color, don't forget to wear sunscreen. Back to 50, baby. Your skin is going to thank you in the morning, I'm telling you that. And always carry a little bit of cash, even if it's £5, £10. You don't have to use it. But you know what? It's a buffer should your cards get declined or you lose your wallet. And you know what? We've all been there, right? And if you're hooking up with someone new, let your friends know where you're going. Send them a text of the address when you get there. And prep. If you're having sex, don't forget to take prep. And if you're staying out all weekend, take enough of it to last until you're back at home. And if you're not on prep, remember condoms are always available at Pride. And finally, remember that Pride belongs to you too, not just extroverts, not just partygoers, not just people with perfect confidence, not just people with six-pack abs and huge friendship groups. Pride belongs to all of us. So let's take a moment. We could do some redefining of what Pride looks like. One of the most liberating things we can do is give ourselves permission to define Pride differently. I don't know, let's think. Perhaps your Pride is marching. Maybe it's volunteering. Perhaps it's attending a support group. Maybe it's sitting in a quiet cafe with a friend and feeling really understood in that moment. Perhaps it's spending the day with your chosen family. Maybe it's simply allowing yourself to exist authentically. Wouldn't that be nice? There is no correct way. Sorry, there is a way, but there's no correct way to do Pride. The only question is, does this feel meaningful to me? Okay, we're coming to the end now. And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. You don't have to be loud to belong at Pride. You don't have to drink or take drugs to belong at Pride. You don't have to be fully healed, fully confident, fully out, or fully certain about who you are. You already belong. Pride began as a protest, and then it became a celebration. And perhaps at its heart, it remains a reminder that none of us have to do this alone. So wherever you are at this Pride season, whether you're dancing in a crowd of thousands, attending your first event, oh my God, I'm so excited if you are, sitting quietly with a friend, I'm loving that for you, or simply just trying to get through the day, I hope you find moments of connection, moments of authenticity, moments of joy. And if you're staying sober this Pride, know that you're not missing out on Pride. You're simply creating your own version of it. And that version matters too. So that's it from me. Thank you for listening and have a happy Pride. I'm Jake Hook. And if you want to find out more about PrideSpace, our free and low-cost counselling, workshop classes, groups, visit us online at pridespace.org or search for us on social media. And a huge thank you to NRN for inviting me to guest appear on their podcast. It's been such a massive privilege. If you're curious about changing your relationship with drugs or alcohol this Pride or at any time, they offer a huge range of services and support. And you know what? They're just over the road from the Pride shop. Come and talk to either of us, and we'll be here to listen.
Thank you for listening to the Nottingham Recovery Network podcast. If you or someone you know are looking for support with their relationship with drugs and alcohol, we are here to help you. Visit www.nottinghamrecoverynetwork.com for more information.